Why does High School Musical have so many fans? I say screw High School Musical. Mean Girls is the best teen high school movie ever made.
And I wonder if I'm just feeling this way, 'cause every man that I know makes me feel like I'm to blame.
Mean Girls, directed by Mark Waters, written by Tina Fey, and tells the story of Katie, a young girl who's lived most of her life with her parents in Africa and was even homeschooled, and she's attending high school for the first time, and she has a hard time fitting in at first until she is taken in by two friends who warn her to beware of the top girls in the school, the Plastics, led by Regina George. But one day when Regina generously invites Katie to join the Plastics, Katie at first gladly accepts, but when Regina kisses the guy that Katie recently developed feelings for, Katie is furious and feels betrayed all of a sudden and vows to ruin Regina's life. Now, I recently decided to review Mean Girls because, believe it or not, I had never seen it until last month. I saw it in July for the very first time because I'd heard nothing but well, great things about it, how it's the best teen high school movie ever. I wanted to check it out to see if what everybody was saying was true, and it was. I really liked it. I thought to myself after I saw it, I've got to review this. I was worried it wouldn't be my cup of tea since I'm not the biggest fan of teen high school comedies. I think most of them are so meh. But this one certainly stood out to me and left a profound impression. I mean, while most teen high school movies are just riddled with cliches and stereotypes and uninteresting, predictable stories, this movie has a awesome, smartly written, funny, heartfelt, and thought-provoking script from Tina Fey. Tina Fey should be proud of her scripts. She has written the best teen high school movie of all time. It actually had a story that interested me from start to finish, and it's a really important story. It's a story and a situation that we've all been in when we were in high school. Not only does it thankfully avoids the cliches of these kind of movies, but it also has a budget. It looks and feels cinematic, whereas most with these teen movies look like they're just straight to DVD. This one deserved its theatrical release 100%. But this movie's biggest strength lies in the characters. Wow, I loved every single one of these characters. Katie, the lead protagonist, played by Lindsay Lohan. It's a shame Lindsay Lohan doesn't do acting much anymore because she was a big actress in the 2000s, and Katie is the best role I've ever seen Lindsay Lohan play. She's mesmerising in this role. I've rarely seen Lindsay Lohan act this confidently, and she gives us such a relatable, down-to-earth performance, and Katie herself, well, is the perfect protagonist for this kind of story, as she's incredibly interesting and talented with her skill in maths and her just her journey to fit in at a school that she's never had any experience in because of her homeschooling. And she excels in character growth. The whole point of this movie is her journey to learning where she went wrong and becoming a better person. She's not a perfect protagonist, she's flawed, but that's what makes her all the more real as a character, and all the more interesting. And so by the end, her journey to finally finding herself and becoming a decent human being really pays off. As for the rest of the characters, Katie's parents, while they're not in it much, their fascination with African culture gives them a memorable trait, and they also help Katie realise where she is going wrong, so they're not just pushed to the side. And Katie's two friends that she makes, Janice and that other guy, they are really cool too. They are at least her guides when she first arrives at the school, and they do help her get the best starts when nobody else wants anything to do with her. And the principal, he is hilarious. He's great. He's so passionate about his school, and he'll do everything to ensure the best for his students. As for Katie's love interest, Aaron, the fact that he was Regina's ex-boyfriend does nicely create a tension between Katie and Regina, and the fact that he is also a maths genius, it gives him and Katie something in common, as well as he's her motivation for doing what she's doing. Tina Fey as Mrs. Nosbury, Katie's maths teacher, is amazing. Of the teachers in the school, she's my favourite. So I'm so glad the screenwriter of Mean Girls actually got her to have an acting role. That's something special. And she also helps Katie will apologise at the end and make up for all she's done, because she knows Katie has gone down a dark path. When Katie deliberately fails at maths, she rightfully encourages Katie to get her act together and prove to be the best she can be. I absolutely loved her friendship she established with Katie, and towards the end of the movie, when the girls in the school all find out what was written about them in Regina's book, where Mrs. Nosbury actually tells the girls to confess and helps them to learn to get along. So she's essentially one of the more important characters. And last but certainly not least, we come to the plastics, the other three main characters of the movie besides Katie, and they are all absolutely wonderful. First you have Gretchen. She's the most sensible of the plastics, which creates some great fun banter between her and the other two. And Karen, played by Amanda Seyfried, she's the comic relief of the plastics. One of her jokes is literally, "If you're from Africa, why are you white?" I know some people may find that joke offensive and racist, but it didn't mean any harm. It was just a bit of fun. That's another great praise I can give this movie. It's so freaking funny and creative. I never thought I'd say that about a teen comedy movie where the comedy works all the time. None of the comedy's cringe-worthy. It's all just for fun, which is what it should be, and the movie can balance out the comedy and the drama brilliantly. But my favourite of the plastics, the Queen Bee, as they refer to her, Regina George, played by one of my favourite actresses, Rachel McAdams. Rachel McAdams kills it as Regina George. She is just such a fantastic character. While most consider Regina to be the villain of the film, I respectfully disagree. I see in Regina what most have not seen. So this is from now on in this review going to be me defending Regina George and why she's not the villain and not that bad of a character. Just let me explain. I have some good evidence to back this argument up. I do not think Regina is a bad person at all. Like, she is a good person at heart, so she just acts very bitchy, just like the other plastics, to act cool. Is what we all do in school. We can't help it, and she does way more good for Katie than bad. She very nicely defends Katie from a guy that's hitting on her, invites Katie to sit down with her at lunch with the other girls, very generously invites her to join the plastics, takes her out shopping, takes her to her glorious mansion, and just because Regina kisses Aaron one time, Katie, for some reason, forgets all the good Regina done for her and just feels completely betrayed and completely overreacts just because Regina did one little mistake. That is not an excuse to get that angry and ruin Regina's whole life. I think Katie did far worse to Regina than Regina did to Katie. The point of this movie is nobody's necessarily in the wrong. Nobody's bad. We're all good. There's just a misunderstanding. You just want the girls to get along and live in peace with each other, which by the end, thankfully, they do. So throughout most of the movie, I felt pretty sorry for Regina. She does not deserve the hate that she got at all. And the moment when Regina doesn't immediately forgive Katie when Katie tries to apologise, I don't blame Regina. I wouldn't forgive Katie so easy if I found out that Katie had been feeding me bars that secretly made me overweight, broke me and my boyfriend up, took my friends away from me, lost me all my respects, and completely betrayed our friendship after all I did for her. I'd be pissed off too if I was in her shoes. And poor Regina even gets hit by a bus at the end. Jeez, she's the one who suffers most in the movie, and she really didn't deserve all of that. That's just harsh. And I know it was Regina's book that caused the school to go into chaos and fight each other, but after Regina discovers Katie's betrayal, I can totally understand and see why she retaliates. Regina makes mistakes, but that does not make her the villain. And Regina even has a great family to add to her sympathy, as she has her little sister Kylie. She's really cute, and her cool, awesome mum, played by Amy Poehler. Fun fact, Amy Poehler's only 7 years older than Rachel McAdams in reality. Amy Poehler's just so great as Regina's mum, Mrs. George. Who wouldn't want a mum like her? She's a cool mum like my mum. And by the end, when Casey finally sees, oh crap, I went too far, and when she's voted prom queen at the school, she confesses to everything and apologizes for all she's done, and she now has found herself, and she very kindly breaks her crown in half and gives a peach to all three of the plastics, Regina included. Even though I think this movie's almost perfect, it's close to perfect, I don't have many negatives at all, but there is one big problem at the end that really bugged me. At the end, there's never truly a scene where the plastics truly make up and forgive each other after all they've been through. Because they had such a sweet friendship, I really wanted them to get back together. I was so disappointed that they didn't and just went their separate ways. In fact, the finale focused more on Katie getting with Aaron. That should have been a secondary focus. But despite that slightly unsatisfying finale, I still had a blast with Mean Girls. It's my favourite high school teen movie comedy of all time, and while most of these kind of movies will fade into obscurity, this one will remain a classic. I give Mean Girls 4.5 stars out of 5. And it's actually unpredictable too. I had no idea what was going to happen. Yeah, it really connected with me. I shall love watching it again and again. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what do you think of Mean Girls? Please comment, let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and on Google+. And I'll see you all next time when I review Mean Girls 2, which, spoiler alert, is not quite as good. I'll see you then. Bye, guys.